Hey guys, there's a link up here. Please wait to click on it until the video is over. It's a 6-question quiz that you need to take to get credit for watching this video. So click on that link up there as soon as the video is over. Enjoy! Alright, our first word this week is an adjective and it's arid. So everybody say arid.
Arid.
It's 2 syllables. Arid.
Arid.
Arid, and it describes something that's extremely dry. So usually it's a social studies word, like an extremely dry climate. We say it's an arid climate. Usually this word is the correct term for like a desert. You've probably heard of semi-arid, which means it's pretty dry, or extremely arid, which would be really dry. And so coming up next, you'll see some sample sentences. You'll also see a map of the different arid regions in the world. Alright, our next word is belligerent, and it's an adjective that describes a person. So everybody say belligerent.
Belligerent.
It's belligerent.
Belligerent.
Belligerent, 4 syllables. And so it describes a person who is being very hostile and warlike. They are like looking for a fight. And so Eli's going to show you what belligerent means. Come over here so they can see it. Yeah. Okay, so belligerent is, looking for a fight. I have some pictures that'll show you some people who are looking pretty belligerent. Animals can be belligerent too. It's like the come on, you want to fight type of thing. All right, the next word is grievance. So everybody say grievance. It's grievance.
Grievance.
Okay, and so a grievance is a formal complaint. So you have a complaint, a serious problem with something, and you file a grievance. And this is kind of an adult word in the workplace. If I feel like I've been treated unfairly, I've been discriminated against, or something like that, I file a grievance. And a grievance is a pretty serious thing. It means I really want action to be taken about this. And there's usually a level or a system, like first you would talk to your boss, then you would do this. First you submit it to your manager at work, and then they submit it to a board or something like that. If you look up online about filing a grievance, there are many little flow charts and steps for how to properly file a complaint at a store, at a restaurant. And so Eli has a grievance.
I want some candy.
Yeah, and so look at this letter he's typed up.
I want some candy.
Let's let him read it.
I want some candy.
All right, our next scope word is also a noun. It is zenith. Everybody say zenith.
Zenith.
It's zenith.
Zenith.
Zenith. And it describes the highest point of something. So it's also another word for like the peak. So the highest point of a mountain is its zenith. Or even the highest point of tension in a story, we would normally call a climax. We could also call it its zenith. It's also a science term for the point that is straight above you when you're outside looking up. So we know about north, east, south, and west. Well, now you know straight above you in the sky, wherever you're standing, is the zenith of the sky. And of course, it depends on who's looking up. It reminded Eli of, what did zenith remind you of?
Buzz! Buzz! Right
here! And why did it remind you of Buzz?
Of course! Oh, right, Buzz!
Because Buzz flies up high in space. Probably he could go to the zenith of a mountain or to the zenith of the actual scientific term. straight up in the sky. So that's zenith. People use it kind of like the highest point of someone's career was like the zenith of their career, or something like that, or the zenith of a king's power would be the height of his reign. So that's zenith. All right, our very last scope word number 100 is a verb. It's something you do. It is scrutinize. So everybody say scrutinize. It's scrutinize. Scrutinize. And the way it sounds can actually help you remember what it means. So if you think of it as like screws in your eyes, then that might help you remember what scrutinize means. It means to look at something very closely. You're examining it, looking for flaws, kind of a critical eye, like you're going to drill into somebody with your screw eyes. And so I'll give you a couple examples. Some people's jobs are to scrutinize. So if you think of like a newspaper editor, that person, or a book editor, that person who has to look for mistakes, missing commas, misspelled words, things like that, their job is to scrutinize other people's writing to look for mistakes, to make sure that it's high quality. Some people scrutinize artwork for a living to just make sure it's, top notch, or look for mistakes. A mathematician might have to scrutinize math problems, like a really long formula to find that mistake. Scientists are going to scrutinize things through a microscope, really looking at every detail as if they had screws in their eyes. So some everyday examples would be like when I go grocery shopping, I don't just grab something off the shelf. I really scrutinize the nutrition label and read the ingredients to make sure that I'm putting quality food in our body and not a bunch of chemicals and junk. And so I scrutinize the labels, meaning I examine it very closely with a critical eye. Another example would be, some people scrutinize and they don't need to. So I just got Eli's pictures taken at a picture studio, and here's one that I got. And so if someone were to scrutinize this, they'd look at it and say like, oh, he's got, a little bit too much shine on his cheeks. They should have gotten rid of that. Well, come on, don't scrutinize my picture. Or like, oh, the hat's a little dented here, whatever. That's when sometimes people do that. We say, you don't need to scrutinize it, or I didn't ask you to scrutinize it. All right, Eli has a special surprise for you since we've learned 100 words. Take it away, Eli. You gonna play him your song?
Yeah. Good job playing 100 words. Don't forget about the ring.